Abby Stockton, the first all-female gym owner in California, organized the first sanctioned weightlifting contest in 1947. She's holding a man over her shoulders with ease. She was 5'2" and weighed 115 pounds. This was around 1946. A policeman saves a pig during a flood. This happened in England in 1953. A starving prisoner is being carried by comrades at the Wöbelin concentration camp, Germany, in May 1945. Dorothy Counts, the first black girl to attend an all-white school in the U.S., is being taunted by her white classmates at Harry Harding High School in Charlotte, 1957. Here we have Motorola engineer John Mitchell with his phone on the streets of New York, 1973. Mitchell helped design the first mobile phone. All-female militia companies, made up of mostly teenage girls, were formed in Wyoming in the late 1880s. The Girl Guards did military and marching drills with wooden rifles and impeccable uniforms. On July 21, 1950, in the town of Wuppertal, Germany, an elephant named Tufi jumped off the local monorail. It's 1959 and some children in France are playing with a toy guillotine. Cooking class, 1935. A car hit a water pump, Boston, in the 1930s. June 28, 1880. Australian outlaw Ned Kelly in Glenrowan. Ned and his comrades made unique armor weighing more than 40 kilograms from scrap materials in an ordinary village forge. Kelly's armor had many marks from bullets. Street food, New York, 1930s. New York City, 1930s. People are crowding around a cart where they roast corn or bake potatoes. President Lincoln visited a Civil War camp in Maryland in 1862. Frédéric Chopin, 1849. There's an Aboriginal boy with a kangaroo pet. It's from Australia. The National Geographic published it in October 1955. William F. Cody, also known as Buffalo Bill, in 1911. Belgian carabiniers, with dog-drawn machine gun carts, move up to oppose the advancing Imperial German Army during the retreat to Antwerp on August 20, 1914. Okay, so there's a female samurai warrior, and it's the 19th century. People are lining up to see the first film. There's a woman who's hungry. Princess Elizabeth is reading during the first year of World War II, around 1940. Princess Beatrice, born in 1857 and passing in 1944, portrayed Queen Elizabeth I on the 7th of January, 1888. At the 122 brothel in Paris, which was open from 1924 to 1946, you could book the Orient Express room. It had sound effects, a rocking floor, and a conductor who might barge in and join. Workers in the National Shell-Filling Factory at Chilwell, Nottinghamshire, 1917. A New York City trolley rolls in a snowstorm, 1910. Boris Yeltsin is addressing a crowd on August 19, 1991, during a coup against him. First Aid Group, June 1943, Keysville, Virginia, Randolph Henry High School. The First Aid Group is in the school dispensary. Inside Grauman's Egyptian Theater in Hollywood, which opened in 1922. Margaret Ann Neve, an American woman, passed away in 1902 after reaching the age of 110. This woman was born in 1792, which means she lived in 3 centuries. There was a saloon in Wisconsin in 1890 that gave kids their own child-sized beers. The Great Flood of 1910 in Paris, France. All right, let's talk about a peddler's car from the 1930s. A Frenchman weeps as German soldiers march into the French capital, Paris, on June 14, 1940, after the Allied armies had been driven back across France. A French colonial soldier is dragging 2 Algerian men in chains. It's a dark reminder of Algeria's colonial past from the 1950s. In 1951, in Pont-Saint-Esprit, France, something called the cursed bread poisoned an entire village. Bread from a local bakery caused terrifying hallucinations. People leapt from windows and saw monsters in the streets. A woman stands while riding her motorcycle, 1920s. During construction of the Manhattan Company building at 40 Wall Street, New York City in 1930. Russian politician Vladimir Zhirinovsky throws stones and dirt at Jewish students who accused him of anti-Semitism. The situation gets even more confusing when you consider that Zhirinovsky was Jewish. This happened in Strasbourg in 1992. Sock workers. November 1941. Sock dryers at the hosiery mill in Greene County, Georgia. The Prague Spring of 1968 was a short period of economic and political changes in Czechoslovakia. It started in January of 1968 and wrapped up on August 20th, 1968, when Soviet forces invaded to put a stop to it. Freddie Mercury with his mother, 1947. There's a young girl trying to cut a sunbeam. The year is 1886. The smiling fellow is a lab technician. He was hired to watch couples kiss, so he could figure out how long lipstick lasts. An ultra-light horse-drawn car in traffic in Paris in 1943. It's 1938. There's women boxing on a roof. Around 1939, Moe Howard plugs his ears as his fellow stooges Larry Fine and Curly Howard slurp soup loudly. Two women are grinding an axe. The year is 1918. Two 13-year-old boys caught smallpox at the same time. The first boy had been vaccinated as a child and only developed a few scabs that healed quickly. The other one got the severe form of the disease. They're moving a house using horses. This happened in San Francisco in 1908. Cetshwayo, the king of the Zulu, defeated the British at the Battle of Isandlwana in 1878. Martin Luther King Jr. and Marlon Brando, 1968. Kaiser Wilson. 20 million American women are not self-governed. Those are American protest signs criticizing President Woodrow Wilson for not keeping his 1916 election promises regarding World War I neutrality and women's suffrage. This was from 1917 to 1918. This is about Silver Springs underwater with a fishing hook. Scottish children are out for a spin on their bike and sidecar. This is at Ballater, Aberdeenshire, during the 1930s. The date is the 18th of January, 1931. A girl is reading a Christian book in the swinging 1960s at Oxford University Park. The Throttle Queens are getting ready for a drag race in 1956. Indian soldiers are entering France during World War I, 1914. Bruce Lee could do more than play a ping-pong game with nunchucks. He was quite the cha-cha dancer, honestly. Here he is in 1958. All right, let's talk about the control panel of the Spirit of St. Louis. It had a bunch of instruments. There were engine gauges, a fuel gauge, a compass, a turn and bank indicator, an airspeed indicator, an altimeter, and a clock. All right, here we go. Raquel Welch was born in 1940. She became a major sex symbol in the 1960s after her breakthrough roles in the films Fantastic Voyage and 1,000,000 Years BC. She was known for her striking looks and confident persona. She starred in many films throughout the 1960s and 1970s, often portraying strong and independent female characters. In addition to her film work, she was also a successful stage actress, and she even had her own television specials. A Rhodesian soldier is taking a smoke break. He's wearing sneakers. This is during the Rhodesian Bush War in the 1970s. Lumberjills, also known as the Women's Timber Corps, take a well-earned break in 1943. There were Soviet children, and they were in sleeping bags heading to their dorm room in 1930. The last photo taken of famous inventor Nikola Tesla in 1943. November 5, 1949. During his London to Brighton cycling speed record attempt, Ken Joy receives his Biden, which is an aluminum can containing milk and sugar. Titanic orphans, brothers Michelle and Edmund Navertil, 1912. They were the only children to be rescued from the Titanic without a parent or guardian. Two innocent souls from days long ago. Same-sex marriage was performed in 1901. Marcela Gracia Ibias and Elisa Sanchez Loriga were wed, with Elisa disguising herself unknown to the authorities as a man named Mario on the marriage certificate in Galicia, Spain. All right, let's see what we have. Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson were on the set of Giant in 1956. Adolf Hitler is saluting the troops of the German Wehrmacht in Warsaw, Poland, on October 5, 1939, after the German invasion. The liberation kicked off a time of lawlessness, which some folks used to get revenge against Germany and anyone who worked with them. Those collaborators got punished by having their heads shaved to publicly shame them. This happened in 1944 in Holland. May 1942, Greenbelt, Maryland, a federal housing project, shopping in the cooperative grocery store. Do we have enough cookies? Barack Obama in his father's hometown, 1988. Emperor Menelik II, after successfully defeating the Italians and saving Ethiopia from European colonization, 1896. Robot Eric, created by Captain William Richards in 1928. Chang and Eng Bunker, with 2 of 21 children, 10 for Chang and 11 for Eng. Chang and Eng Bunker were conjoined twin brothers, born in Siam, which is now Thailand, in 1811, who became globally famous as Siamese twins and settled in North Carolina. Mobile phones were predicted 59 years ago. It was predicted in 1963 that we would have mobile phones in the future. Zoom in and have a read. Summer on the Lower East Side, 1937. Sick and half-starved prisoners are evacuated from the Wibbelin concentration camp in Germany during May of 1945. Aboriginal Tasmanian Fanny Cochrane Smith singing into her phonograph in 1903. The first photograph taken of a giant squid was in 1873. Nicotine Angel, June 24, 1918. The Red Cross is distributing cigarettes in a hospital in Contrexeville, France. July 5, 1924, Babe Ruth hits the wall and the wall wins. Russian immigrants and Japanese generals at an all-Russian fascist party celebration in Harbin, Japanese-occupied Manchuria, in 1934. A huge crowd in Mare Street, Hackney, London, watches firemen putting out a blaze at the premises of Messrs. Polikoff Limited around 1930. Gaunt Allied prisoners of war at Aomori Camp near Yokohama cheer rescuers from the U.S. Navy. They're waving flags of the United States, Great Britain, and Holland in 1945. Shopping for a fridge in 1941, and naturally doing it in sensible shoes and a proper hat. Washington, D.C., 1924. By just plugging the head telephone into the wall above the bed, every bedridden soldier in Walter Reed Hospital gets radio entertainment. Millions of hot air balloons in the Cleveland sky, 1986. Emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, visits Jamaica. This happened in 1966. Some people there see him as a god. Marlon Brando, photographed by Cecil Beaton for Vogue in 1947. In 1886, this couple posed for a photo outside the White House in Washington, D.C. on this two-seater bicycle. A rat meets a rat catcher in New York around 1920. The isolator was a helmet, and you'd wear it to help you focus. It made the wearer deaf. They even had a supply of oxygen around 1925. Young Freddie Mercury at the age of 12 at St. Peter's Boys' School in Panchgani, India, 1958. Actress Jean Harlow poses with boxer Primo Carnera in 1933. J. Edgar Hoover, the founder of the FBI, is with his assistant and alleged lover, Clyde Tolson, around 1939. Michael Rockefeller was part of the Rockefeller family, one of America's most powerful and wealthy families. He disappeared after he was last seen trying to swim 3 miles to the shores of Papua New Guinea. President George H.W. Bush is looking at the Capitol in a helicopter after leaving the Clinton inauguration. The year was 1992. Muhammad Ali knocks out Sonny Liston after a 1-minute-long championship match in Lewiston, Maine on May 25, 1965. Just seconds after the knockout, referee Joe Walcott holds Ali back. Ray K. Cunningham, a lion tamer, is standing with a lion. They're performing at the Shrine Circus. There's a young girl with them, too. This was in Chicago, around 1958. This is fun with a fire hydrant in Harlem, 1963. (1938) Marilyn Monroe, age 12. Robert Williams Wood, Max Planck, and Albert Einstein are in the front row of a session of the Physical Society in Berlin on July 28, 1931,